Alright, so we begin chapter 242 with a flashback into Ness's past. Ness explains that both of his parents are scientists, and that ever since he was born, his parents drilled into him that everything in the world can be explained through logic. Sometime when he was younger, he had gotten a wound on his hand and went to his father and asked if he could heal it with the healing spell. Unfortunately for Ness, his father told him no, and that he needed to quickly clean the wound and disinfect it. However, it doesn't stop there, as he tells Ness that if they don't clean the wound, there's a chance that it would get infected and slow down the healing process, and if that were to happen, then it would become necrotic, and in the worst case scenario, Ness could die, which is a lot to tell a kid. However, he soon after went to his mom to ask if that's true, however she denied it, and overhearing it, his brother and sister started calling him stupid. He later asked his siblings if it were possible to summon a monster and bring it to life. However, they had enough of his imagination and told him that it was impossible, and told him to stop reading such garbage, explaining that there was no magic in his house. But Ness wasn't going to let that stop him, because on a winter day, he built a snowman, made a magic wand, and also a summoning circle around it. He told the snowman to give him all of his strengths and to come to life. But during the spell, his siblings came out to him telling him to shut up and that they couldn't focus on their experiments due to his noisiness. Ness looks confused and only explains that he was practicing magic as he wanted a pet for himself. This makes them extremely angry for no reason and destroys Ness's wand and his snowman. You can even see that the snowman was shedding a tear as he got destroyed. Later they told their parents about Ness's magic practice and asked if he's even related to them. His parents come out and explain that snow is composed of frozen water crystals, but they also contain dirt particles that were circulating in the air, and asked him to wash his hands on the way in. His father tells Ness that they are scientists and that it's their duty to observe, research, and explain natural phenomena. However, that wasn't enough for their father, as he also told him straight up that people who foolishly believe in the impossible are not wanted in their house. His father's harsh words make Ness fall down to his knees and start crying, while his siblings don't go to comfort him, but instead go back in saying that Ness definitely got the short end of the gene pool. Ness is so furious at them and says that they reject magic because they can't explain it in a scientific manner, and that they are all unable to understand the sadness within his heart. Ness explains that he truly believes that magic does exist, and that ever since he read a book about it, he was so excited that he couldn't sleep the entire night. He says that none of them is able to explain what he felt in that moment, and since that day, he searched for magic every day. Unlike the rest of his family, Ness liked dealing with fiction rather than fact, and if his family likes to brush off fiction as magic, then he believed that the world is filled with magic and adventure. Ness felt both a lot of indescribable and happy feelings, but also a ton of indescribable sadness in his younger years. But that was about to change, as somehow when he was watching a football match, he felt something he was unable to explain. A player scored a goal, and it was like magic flowing all around the pitch and striking Ness. He looks at the player celebrating and says that football is true magic. A single goal or a single player can ignite the crowd, whip the entire stadium into a frenzy, and provide a sense of euphoria that transcends all logic. And just at that time, Ness was happier than ever as he found it. He finally realized that football players are magicians. After that day, he started training like a madman, as he knew that it was what he wanted to do. His siblings wondered if he was an idiot, and their father told them to forget about him, and that he would come back crying to them in no time. But he was looked in, knowing that one day he would go pro and show them. He would get called up to Die Mannschaft and the national team. When they see Ness playing a game, he is in a one-on-one with the goalkeeper and shoots an incredible goal while saying that one day he will become a player that will enter the world with his magic. After that, Ness goes to celebrate with his teammates, when suddenly someone new comes forward. He tells Ness that if he's interested in turning pro, he should definitely try out for their club, which is what he did as he went to Bastard Academy tryouts. He was met by a lot of older and more experienced players. Ness said that they were huge and looked strong, but even then he would show them. He knew that if he showed results in this intra-squad scrimmage, the chances of him scoring a pro contract with Bastard München, the strongest club in Germany, would skyrocket, and his dream of becoming a magician would come true. And that was put to the test as kickoff began, and Ness started with the ball. The dribbled across two players flawlessly with such a sharp execution. Someone else in the box told Ness that he was open. Ness thought that he was too slow, but that it couldn't be helped and decided to pass. But out of nowhere, someone came and stole the ball. Ness is confused as he has already got past this guy, but he's already back. And after that, the other team managed to score. Ness notes that these guys are totally different from the players he's used to facing. He wonders if this is the level of those who are seriously trying to turn pro, and even though he can just keep up with them, with his technique and creativity, he falls short when it comes to tactics, coordination play, and transition, saying once again that they are on a totally new level to Ness. Two players go and block his path, making him fall to the ground and making Ness realize that his magic is powerless against the world. His teammates start screaming at him, asking him what he's doing, and that he's too slow. Someone else says that he needs to get rid of the ball quicker, and even calls him a slowpoke. Ness, falling to the ground, starts to hear the words of his family again, saying that there's no such thing as magic, and that everyone who foolishly believes in magic isn't wanted in their house. He starts seeing dark silhouettes of them before him. He starts to cry, saying that he hates his magic. But suddenly, when looking up, he sees someone else with extremely long hair. He calls him a loser and asks if Ness believes in the impossible, turning around and looking into Ness's crying eyes. The text at the bottom says, as he sees his magic get stymied during the bastard Munchin tryouts, Ness loses the will to fight. Lying on the ground, his ego in tatters, and now on the verge of despair, Ness looks up to see Kaiser towering over him. How will these two combine forces to join the footballing giant that is Bastard Munchin? To top it off, the next chapter is called The Blue Rose and the Magician Part 2.
I was raised in a broken and abusive household.
Bitch, this chicken is cold!
When I turned 17, I ran away to Hong Kong, where I met triad boss Kenny Wu, my first love.
Bitch, this chicken is cold!
Hey, this is my go-to passer right here. Really good at passing, and honestly, I never compliment anyone this much. You gotta believe me.
That's right.
And you're like in the U20s, right? Yeah. Yes. Tables. Hey, yo! Tables, glass.